Some crazy awesome teachers, y'all.
Mister, I am serious. Wipe that smirk off your face.
Don't know why I'm talking in that accent. Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Crazy Awesome Teachers, or otherwise known as Guru Gokil. When staff salaries get stolen at high school, a reluctant new teacher sets out to recoup the money and soon discovers the joys of teaching. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this. It looked a bit weird. I was hoping that it was going to be better than I thought it was going to be. So let's get into the review. But before we do that, let me know in the comments below, were you looking forward to this one? Had you heard about it? Do check out my other social medias, Facebook, Twitter, all of those. If you haven't joined me there already, I'm quite active on those as well. I like to post in a variety of places. Thanks so much for joining me in this review. Let's get started. So I want to talk about script. The script for me in this, with the plot and the storyline, was something that I wasn't expecting for it to be as funny as it was. And that's not like they were setting out to make this film hilarious or belly laughing. It isn't that. I think it's partly to do with the culture. There is a comedic undertone. There's a weird tempo that flows throughout this film that makes it funny. So the characters find themselves in situations that is funny, so you're laughing with them, sometimes at them, or you're cringing for them, if that makes sense. So there aren't like jokes that are like told, like you're going ha 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 ha, that's a funny one. And I feel like the script, it feels polished, although it also feels very natural. Just talk about the direction. The directing lends itself heavily on the scripting. I feel like because they've allowed their actors to come across naturally, the directing, I'm wondering how much ad-lib there was. Although it does feel very scripted, it feels very natural as well. And I feel like the actors have listened to the director and they've gotten out what they need to, because the tone is so specific, because you have that, I guess it's that redemption story for the protagonist where he's just concerned about money, our protagonist, and he has a really, I guess, a strange relationship with his father. And so you see that change throughout the course of the film, but the comedy is always there. It's not in spite of or in front of, it's just there in the background. It's like a beat of the film. I always feel like there are certain films that have beats to them. This one has an unusual beat that I wasn't expecting, and it really works. So at times there are heartfelt moments or more scary moments. I think most people can probably watch this, and that's down to the directing of knowing exactly how they wanted to portray this film. It's very light-hearted, it's very funny, but you get what the actors are trying to tell you. You get the underdog storyline, and I have to applaud the directing because I think that's very well done. Let's talk about the characters. The characters in this are fantastic, especially the protagonist. At the beginning, I remember saying to myself, well, this guy's a douchebag, because at the end, I really liked the character. I really liked him. There's a massive redeeming arc. At times, you can't quite guess what's going to happen, but I would say that you know what's going to happen. It's almost Hollywood in its nature, although you can't quite guess all the plot developments, but you know what's going to happen with these characters. You know who's going to end up with who, you know what is going to happen to get them back on the side. So it's not completely fresh, it's not original. It's very hard to do an original film these days. It takes certain plots and themes that we've seen loads of, but the characters, I think, work very well in this. The score and music, they're very underrated in this, which is great, because sometimes you have something that's kind of thrust in front of you and you're like, well, the music says, here I am. This one, it's kind of understated. It's a subpar character that just kind of drives along with the film and helps it when there's a bit of a silent dialogue or we have nice landscape shots. It just kind of moves the film along. Nothing to write home about, but also not terrible. I think it was good. The cinematography, again, is also not something that I thought was particularly brilliant in this. The shots are kind of standard for a TV movie, and I think that's what this film feels like. It is a TV movie. It's not one that I would go to the cinema to watch, but it is one that I enjoyed watching at home. On a whole, I enjoyed this film. I enjoyed the storyline. I liked the play-by-play numbers. It worked for me. Sometimes you get films like this that we've seen lots of. I think partly that's to do with the Indonesian culture comedy style that I wasn't expecting. That for me was quite fresh, quite new. If you are Indonesian, then you're used to this type of style, this tone that this film gives. But for me, being one of my first Indonesian types of comedies, it's a rom-com. Also, it's a coming of age. It's how great teaching is. There's a lot of themes that are driven into this film, but my favorite theme is probably the teachers having to get back their money that was stolen from them. It almost becomes like a heist film in parts of it, which I thought was a really nice way to go, and it worked. And you can see the plan coming together. Certain teachers have certain skills that when they come together, you think, oh, that kind of makes sense. Imagine having certain skilled teachers do certain things to get something and have a plan and work it out. And that bit for me was a lot of fun. All in all, I don't think it was too much all over the place, because it was slow in bits, but that's when they were developing those characters. And so all in all, I think this was a lot of fun. It's a solid B movie. Let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this? What did you think? Have you seen many other Indonesian films? Which other ones should I watch? Thanks so much for watching this review, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.